Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, in this video, we're going to be going over Dogecoin, and today actually, I bought $15,000 worth of Doge. Very bullish on it. I'll be going into my reasons behind it here in this video. So, we'll just jump right into it. So, monthly chart on Doge, and the main thing I want to go over here is market cipher really quick first. So, one thing I've noticed is the VWAP. All right, so this yellow wave here on market cipher B. As we can see here, last cycle, the 2020-2021 cycle, VWAP actually had its highest peak um, very early on in the cycle for Doge when it first started getting its big run up, right? Back in, that was January. And it made a bearish divergence going into its peak on VWAP. As we see right now, VWAP made a peak, but we didn't get a continuous, monthly just pump up like it did last time. All right, it's not going to be the exact same last time, but history rhymes. Maybe this was the start of its run up. Maybe Dogecoin gets consecutive green dildos to the upside again. Maybe, maybe not. But one thing is there's no bearish divergence yet if it forms on Dogecoin. If you want to speculate that it can form, well, it hasn't yet, and a lower high on VWAP could potentially come as we're nearing the zero line, and it doesn't reset to zero, right under zero to the negatives, because if it does, then that would invalidate if it were to go positive again. A lower high here, and that wouldn't be, in my opinion, that wouldn't be a bearish divergence because VWAP reset. So if it stays positive and makes a lower high, while price makes a higher high, this could be a good trade setup if you're entering now, not financial advice, right? If you entered even before, now at 17 or maybe at 13, 14, 15 cents, and this potentially runs up to 30, 40, 50 cents or higher, but monthly VWAP makes a bearish divergence, um, you know, nice to probably take profits, right? As a trade, swing trade. It's a monthly time frame, so things take a decent amount of time to play out. Okay, multiple months. And what we can see here too is that on market cipher B, it looks like a red dot can start to form potentially if price doesn't start to break some highs. Okay, especially 22 cents. It's a pretty crucial level to get above. Okay, if price continues to stay under that, um, there's a good chance of more downside. Okay, we could break the range that we're in between 22 cents and 12 cents. All right, that's the range we're in, and that's what could happen. That's the bearish case, right? So just the main thing here is the monthly VWAP. Got to really pay attention to it. If it makes a bearish divergence and prices at higher highs, then maybe a decent idea to take some profits. But long term, Doge could very well make new all-time highs. It has done since its inception at back, 2014 or whatever? Yeah, 2013, 2014. Every cycle, it's made new highs. Look, it's continuously made higher highs and higher lows. So what's not to say it doesn't do it again this cycle? It could happen. How quickly, who knows if it happens. But it could if we're going back, and just like Bitcoin, every cycle it's continuously made new all-time highs. So is Dogecoin, right? If I were to take a bet, I'd say it goes to new all-time highs. Why would I bet against history like that, right? But just pay attention. We got to pay attention to this monthly VWAP. Okay, if it resets, that's pretty good. If it can stay in this consolidation as well. But if it doesn't, there's a potential for bearish divergence. So that's just a monthly. Going down to the 2-week, it's a really nice look on the money flow. I know that the 2-week stochastic momentum is pointed straight down, We got a 2 week red dot last month. Um, so that's not the best look on it, right? But what's a nice look is this awesome curvature on the money flow to the upside. And VWAP looks like it wants to start turning positive soon. Okay, it's only a negative 3.8. All right. But this money flow is a very nice look. A nice rounded money flow that could turn positive. And then a nice rounded positive green flow potentially, right? That's how these money flow trends usually play out really nice. When there's nice curvature like that on it. We can go back on the chart and look at it the other 2 times. So money flow had a tiny, tiny bit of red, tiny bit of curvature. This was between it doesn't even fucking say. So I'll just take the date range. 112 days of money flow in the red with a nice curvature. And what happened after that? Well, a nice huge uptrend started, right? Some consolidation first, but overall, this money flow came red, curved back up, and slowly but surely money flow turned up, right? And we had that crazy run on Doge back in 2020 cycle, right? Now, the previous time that we had money flow in the red and curved back up on the 2 week. Let's see. I'd say it kind of started here. These are still really young charts, right? Back in 2013, 2014, and we're on the 2 week time frame. It's 252 days, and after, so March 13th, and what happened after the money flow started to go green? We got a phenomenal run. And actually, you can take like percent gains. I mean, ultimately, it had an 11.4 thousand percent gain as the money flow was in the red, curved back up, and money flow went green again. Pretty interesting. Money flow is one of the most important things in market cipher to pay attention to. Okay. Sometimes the other stuff just comes second. Depends on how you're trading and everything. But this is a very good look for Dogecoin for a beautiful swing trade, in my opinion, or a longer term quote unquote investments. I mean, we're going through the cycle here. It's not like we're early still in the cycle. I mean, I guess in a way you could say, but yeah, it's not as early as it was, 6, 8 months ago, a year ago, year and a half ago, right? So risk is slowly getting higher, right? While percent gains on it, cryptos is getting lower. But Dogecoin 2 week looks very bullish to me with this curvature on the red money flow curvature to the upside with VWAP positive crossover potentially as well. Okay, so for me, my opinion, my speculation, I think we can see a good shot at a 39 cent to 50 cent Dogecoin. A 50%, so that would be a 50% hit of the 50% retracement from the all-time high at 73 cents to the low of this cycle at around 49.049 cents. So the 0.5 fib would be at 39.4, and the golden pocket would be between 47.5 and 49.7 cents. Okay, so 40 to 50 cents pretty much. I could see a very good probability of that getting hit on Dogecoin in the coming weeks to months. Okay, it's not going to open overnight. Probably it could. Who knows? Maybe Elon fucking says something and it bumps to Valhalla. Who knows? Right. So now going down to the 2 week or 1 week, another very good look, and a lot of other coins have this too, or have gotten it too. Render had gotten it a couple of weeks ago. Bitcoin's getting it this week, or was it last week? The green dot on the weekly. So Dogecoin right now is printing a green dot. If Dogecoin can hold up price like where it's at right now, the green dot will confirm tomorrow at the weekly close, and a positive VWAP crossover confirmed tomorrow as well, if this green dot can confirm. And this weekly stochastic will probably start to curve and come all up as well. But green dot on the weekly, when no weekly bearish divergences and money flow is green, the 2 week money flow is curving up with the VWAP as well. Weekly VWAP is curving up as well positively. I mean, these are all very high time frame, very bullish signals, right? What else can you say about that? It's very bullish. But short term here, we are finding resistance at the 50% of this range, between 22 and 12 cents. Okay. But if we get a weekly closure above, mark it out, 16 cents, that's very bullish. A weekly candle close into these wicks, that's bullish. Even better would be a weekly closure above 17 cents. That would be even better. But as long as we, in my opinion, Dogecoin gets closures above 16 cents, I think there's a good shot that we break above this 50% retracement of the range that is a heavy resistance for Dogecoin, and break above, retest possibly, and go to the top of this range and try and break out. Okay? So there's not much I see that's really bearish. And putting microcipher away for a second, we have, a bottoming range here for a long time. So that's a low. That's a low area. Then we have a weekly higher low here, and potentially another weekly higher low here, with weekly higher highs. So, as simple as it may sound, I mean, all the Dogecoin has to do is make a higher high, retest, possibly make a higher low, right? And continue the trend upwards. Overall, this is still a weekly uptrend. No key supports have been broken, only tested and used as support. Very simple. Overall, extremely bullish weekly and 2 week chart. Now we can check out 3-day. 3-day stochastic momentum is pointed to the upside with money flow as well and VWAP. Momentum waves just started to turn positive again as well. And there's no bearish divergence yet on the 3-day VWAP. So this can stay pinned positively for a little bit, okay, before it gets overextended and have to turn to the negative side again. So overall, Dogecoin looks very strong here, okay? Very strong. There's very nice signs here on Dogecoin, and there's no 3-day bearish divergence just yet. There's bearish divergence here back between March 10th and April 3rd, right? Market cipher made lower highs, while price action made slightly higher highs. But that seems to have played out as market cipher reset to the negative side with VWAP, and price is consolidated in the range. So more likely than not, this bearish divergence that did hit did confirm has played out. And maybe now we can start or continue its higher time frame uptrend. Going down to the daily chart, you can see a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders. Not too much of a pattern guide, but I mean, I can see people talking about it. I don't think I have, but this looks like a potential inverse head and shoulders. It's a bit messy, right? Something of a neckline like that. Maybe we're breaking out and retesting it right now. But just for the pattern bros out there, I could see this being a bit of a messy inverse head and shoulders. Now, weekly stochastic or daily stochastic actually is pointed back up in an overbought range, but that doesn't mean it's bearish. In my opinion, that this is a good sign, right? That's strong strength, strong volatility to the upside. And you also have money flow. Again, the curvature, man. The curvature on the money flow from negative to positive. That's a very nice look. It looks very close to turning positive here soon. Okay, and there's no daily bearish divergences as well. So these higher lows that we have on the daily, a low here, and pretty here as well, with a high and a slightly higher high over here. But this red money flow curving back up like this, there's a good chance we continue grinding on upwards. If we break above the 50% retracement at 17.5 cents, the likely other target that will get hit, it's 21 cents and the high at 22.8 cents, however you want to say it, 22 cents. That was put in back March 28th, almost a month ago. Okay, so we break this 50% retracement resistance. There's a good shot that we test 21 to 22 cents again and potentially try and break out. So going back to the weekly, just an overall, very nice structure, right? We had the 22 bear market, right? That phase to the downside. And then we have a nice just bottoming out structure, right? It's just flat. Price is flat. This is pretty much an accumulation range. And now we've broken out of the accumulation vein and just holding and consolidating just above the consolidation range that we were in for, wow, it's 2024 now, 2 fucking years. Things take time, but this looks like it's gearing up to move higher, right? We have the drawdown phase, the flat phase where it's just bottoming them out, going flat. It's like a just accumulation phase, consolidation of a breakout above before possibly continuing higher. We have that aggressive up phase. You know, it's a very nice look on Dogecoin. Now we can look at Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. So let me go on the monthly. And as you see here on the monthly, again, you got to pay attention to this money flow. This money flow turned negative, and now it's just curving back up, slowly but surely, curving back up. It's at -2. It's just about to go positive. Okay, it wants to go positive. It's right there. It's so close. Look at the last time it's curved from red money flow into green. Even though it was slightly green, as it was curving up from negative, we had an insane run against Bitcoin. And we had a slight run against Bitcoin again with the curvature from the red to green on money flow in 2022. Or late 2022. So I do expect a breakout of this downwards resistance and for Doge versus Bitcoin to start breaking key resistance levels. If it can get above the 0.236, obviously the next target would be the 0.382 and then the 50% retracement. And a percent gain against Bitcoin from where it's at right now, 0.382 would be 105%, 50% retracement would be 166%. Another key area of confluence would be a golden pocket hit. That would be about 245%. Okay. And if Dogecoin were to perform against Bitcoin like that, you can only imagine how well Dogecoin USD would do. There's not too much to go off here. It is Dogecoin against Bitcoin. Just taking the fibs off. This is the main thing I see. It's just this downwards resistance. And we're potentially trying to break out of it here very soon. This month or next month. Right? If price action were to get, we can go down on a weekly time frame. If price action were to get closures, honestly, under this, how would you even, what number would you even fucking call this? 0.0000208 on Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. Here, this price level here, you're likely going to break under this wick as well. And maybe you try for a double bottom, but you might just make a slight, a little bit of lower lows before eventually breaking out again on Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. But even looking here on the weekly chart, again, this money flow is curving back up. And VWAP is negative, just about to turn positive. This looks very well for a breakout to the upside against BTC. This will only help Dogecoin USD. Now, end part of the video, I just want to mention DOGE. So for people who don't know, for Bitcoin, there's ordinals and BRC20s. It's basically like NFTs and the shitcoins on Bitcoin's blockchain, right? Just like ETH has NFTs and shitcoins or other coins built on it. Well, Bitcoin has that, and so does Dogecoin. Dogecoin is Doginals and DRC20s. Doge here is around 18 million market cap, about 20 million market cap. And it's a DRC20. It's such a young chart, very little history. All I see here is like a bit of a pennant, while money flows thick to the downside. Usually when money flows this thick, it will start curving back up, right? But as it's curving back up, price action can likely make lower lows and to form those divergences with the money flow and momentum waves curving back up as well. While price action makes lower lows, this makes higher lows. That means bullish divergences are building. Volatility to the upside are building. Do I think this makes lower lows? I don't know. It's a shitcoin. It's a meme coin. It's Dogecoin is already degenerate as it is. A DRC20 built on Doge is 100x more fucking degenerate to get into. But with something like this, if Dogecoin were to pop off again, DRC20s and Doginals are going to do extremely well. Okay? So something like this will pump. Even if it goes from 83 cents where it's at right now to this resistance line, well, that would be a 343% gain. That's pretty good. Now, this would be this is called Donkey.market. This is where you can go find all the DRC20s, which are down here, and Doginals. There's this Doginal. This is the one I hold. Very degenerate. It's a gamble, but if Dogecoin pops off, this stuff likely starts to perform well as well shortly after, in my opinion. So, with that being said, Dogecoin looks very bullish for higher time frame perspective. And I'll leave it there with that. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.